Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Technical Sergeant Zachary Bowens, and I will be the narrator for today's ceremony. On behalf of the presiding officer, Colonel Brian L. Hardiman, Commander, 65th Air Base Group, welcome to the 765th Air Base Squadron Change of Command ceremony. Today, Lieutenant Colonel Daniel J. Weeks will pass command to Lieutenant Colonel Sean Michael T. Kelly. We would like to start by recognizing some of our honored guests in attendance today. Please hold your applause until everyone has been introduced. Colonel Hardiman's son, Brian, and his girlfriend, Laura, and Colonel Hardiman's daughter, Jessica. Lieutenant Colonel Weeks' spouse, Ariel, and their children, Lucas and Declan. Lieutenant Colonel Kelly's spouse, Jessica, and their son, George. Deputy Commander, 65th Air Base Group, Lieutenant Colonel Todd Paciencia. Senior Enlisted Leader, 65th Air Base Group, Chief Master Sergeant Matthew Peace. We also welcome all commanders, directors, senior enlisted leaders, first sergeants, friends, family, and the men and women of the 765th Air Base Squadron. Thank you all for attending. The tradition of the change of command dates back to the time of the Roman legions, where the passing of the commander's baton occurred in front of the troops to signify the leader who will take them into battle. In the 18th century, the Continental Army of the United States resumed the tradition, conducting the first change of command ceremony. Historically, the flag or colors of a unit served as the point around which the members of the organization rallied as they moved forward into battle. The colors have traditionally been at the side of the commander and were carried forward even as the commander fell in combat. All others may perish, but the colors live on. Just like the colors of the past, the modern-day guidon represents the history, traditions, and accomplishments of the 765th Air Base Squadron. The exchange of the guidon is a symbolic gesture which provides airmen a tangible view of the transfer of command responsibility for not only the accomplishment of the 765th Air Base Squadron's mission, but also the welfare of its airmen. The senior non-commissioned officer of the organization is traditionally responsible for the maintenance and care of the colors, and so today, Senior Master Sergeant White will pass the squadron guidon to the outgoing commander, Lieutenant Colonel Weeks, signifying the squadron's appreciation for his leadership and guidance. Lieutenant Colonel Weeks will then pass the guidon to Colonel Hardiman, signifying the relinquishing of his command and the gratitude for the opportunity to lead airmen. Colonel Hardiman will then pass the flag to the incoming commander, Lieutenant Colonel Kelly, entrusting him with the responsibility and care of the unit. Finally, Lieutenant Colonel Kelly will pass the guidon back to Senior Master Sergeant White, signifying his trust and confidence in the leaders and airmen of the squadron. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and the Portuguese and the singing of the Portuguese and United States national anthems.
Heróis do mar, nobre povo, nação valente e imortal, levantai hoje de novo o esplendor de Portugal. Entre as brumas da memória, a pátria sente-se a voz dos teus egrégios avós, que hão de guiar-te à vitória, às armas, sobre a terra, sobre o mar. Às armas, pela pátria lutar, contra os canhões marchar. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Senor Roque. Chaplain Fay will now give the invocation.
Would you pray with me? O Heavenly Father, on this day, we ask your divine favor on this change of command. Bless all our leaders with the courage to walk the moral high ground, with the wisdom to lead effectively, and big hearts to watch over our most crucial asset, airmen. Now we express our heartfelt appreciation to our outgoing commander, Lieutenant Colonel Weeks, his wife, Ariel, and sons, Declan and Lucas, who as a family faithfully served together to press Lieutenant Colonel Weeks to the finish line. May he and his family's sacrificial contributions be remembered with gratitude, and may he find joy in the memories and success in his future endeavors. Now we seek your favor upon Lieutenant Colonel Kelly as he takes up the mantle of leadership and presses the Lajes Field mission forward by creating new structures and building warrior airmen and making changes. Also, continue to bless him and his family as he seeks to be an inspiration to the Matadors. Strengthen, encourage, and empower Lieutenant Colonel Kelly as he leads the squadron with integrity. Finally, Lord, we ask that you place a hedge of protection over Lajes Field as we all strive in one accord to accelerate change. In your holy and precious name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain Fay. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce our presiding officer for today's ceremony, Colonel Brian Hardiman.
That's my wingman.
So many papers up here, sorry. Try not to get these. All right. Sorry, Katie, I just couldn't memorize it all. All right. Good afternoon, everyone. What an amazing day for the 65th Air Base Group and the 65th Air Base Squadron. It's absolutely an honor to be with you here this afternoon as we get to say goodbye to one outstanding leader and give a warm welcome to another. I'd like to welcome our distinguished guests and the men and women of the 765th Air Base Squadron. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us for this momentous occasion. Today's 765th Air Base Squadron change of command is an important tradition as it allows our airmen and Portuguese civilians to see the passing of the guidon and the change of responsibility between two leaders. It also provides us with an invaluable opportunity for us to understand that command itself is the single most important element in our Air Force organization. No other element or function is more meaningful. Command is also the pinnacle achievement of an officer's career. It's the ultimate vote of confidence by one's superior officers. It's a job with immense personal satisfaction and unrelenting pressure. Every successful commanding officer must fully understand the responsibility, authority, and accountability that goes with the job. This is what's called the triad of command, the governing standards which must be met. Our 33rd president, Harry S. Truman, lived by the axiom that the buck stops here. He was absolutely right. As commanding officer, you are at the top of the ladder. How an officer handles the triad and the pressure of command reflects the character of all who serve in that command, and in a larger sense, our Air Force. To the men and women of the 765th Air Base Squadron, I could not be prouder of the heavy lifting you're doing across the 65th Air Base Group. For those whose family could not be here with us today, I know they are immensely proud of you too. I want to say a special thanks to them for their sacrifices. Thank you for lending your loved ones to us for this short period of time and holding the fort down at home. Lieutenant Colonel Weeks, teams can win games with great players, but it takes those same great players, a sprinkle of some key role players, and a great coach to win a championship. And guess what? You have been that great coach for this team. You have been vital to the mission. Ariel, I know it's been a hard year, and it may have felt much longer than it's been, but for you, Declan and Lucas, please accept my heartfelt thanks for sharing your husband and father with us. Danny's performance and contributions to Team 6-5 have been exceptional, and our team is better because of him. Thank you for supporting him from halfway around the world. Danny, Lieutenant Colonel Weeks, your command is marked by multifaceted wins, from ensuring that Lajes Field streamlining and building consolidation was done right and efficiently, from ensuring over 125 Navy personnel were bed down and fed, from maintaining over $1.9 billion of infrastructure, and to most recently, the amazing 4th of July celebration. You truly embrace every aspect of your mission, our mission, and thanks for your selfless service and dedication to our nation and the 65th Air Base Group. Thank you for your leadership. I'm proud of you and wish you blue skies and calm winds. I had to throw in that aviation thing. As you begin the next chapter of your career at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, I hope our paths cross again soon. Lieutenant Colonel Kelly, Lieutenant Colonel Weeks, and the team have set the bar incredibly high. By judging by your records and the brief conversations we've had yesterday and today, I know you're up to the challenge. I can tell your parents instilled tremendous work ethic and the passion for selfless service, and more importantly, the commitment to excellence and to the dedication to our great nation. We are excited to have you join Team 6-5. Jessica, as you and George courageously step forward into this unaccompanied assignment and its challenges, there are no words to faithfully show our gratitude. Please know that we are here for you and your family. Thank you for your continued sacrifice. Sean Michael, I'm sure your family, who will see this later, will cheer from Minnesota as they see you take the guide on. Very soon you will have a daunting task and responsibility. You have to be a mentor, you have to be a coach, and lead our most coveted treasure of our nation's sons and daughters. I have complete trust in you, and I have the confidence that you'll do the right thing for the members of the 65th Air Base Squadron. Your experience has more than prepared you for this opportunity. You have inherited an incredible team that is lean and lethal. The 65th Air Base Group Command Team, Lieutenant Colonel Paciencia, Chief Pease, and I stand ready to help in any way that we can. Your Facardos are ready to follow your lead. Undeniably, the power and strength of the 65th Air Base Squadron is derived from its sustained partnership with our host nation ally. This is best represented by the fact that our Portuguese civilians are seamlessly integrated into the squadron and help run day-to-day operations. They are the heart, glue, and continuity of the squadron. As you take on your leadership role as commander, my advice to you is to rely on the expertise and inherent knowledge of your Portuguese civilians. Tracy Lindquist is a phenomenal deputy and right hand to lean on, along with the rest of your supervisors in the squadron. You have 1 year to make a difference as Lajes continues to evolve to get after strategic competition, so I need you to trust the team you're surrounded by and hit the ground running. Now, to the men and women of the 765th Air Base Squadron, we are excited and proud of the fantastic work that you do every day. I have one last charge for you. Continue on your path of excellence. Continue to seek the new innovative ways to accomplish your mission. Do it with speed, do it with precision, and do it with a keen eye towards safety. Take care of yourself, each other. Continue to grow as individuals and as a team. Learn and be accountable through your successes and challenges, and keep your critical minds disciplined and sharp. You are the foundation to accelerating change as we turn the page of this leadership chapter for the 765th Air Base Squadron. You have your new coach, you have your role players, and you have your superstars. Everyone contributes, and this is and will continue to be a championship team. Danny and Sean Michael, thank you both for your leadership. 765th Air Base Squadron, thank you for being awesome at what you do, and thank you, everyone. I don't want to lose your page.
Thank you, Colonel Hardiman. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand as Colonel Hardiman presents the Meritorious Service Medal, 4th Oak Leaf Cluster, to Lieutenant Colonel Weeks.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. This is to certify that the President of the United States of America has awarded the Meritorious Service Medal, 4th Oak Leaf Cluster, to Lieutenant Colonel Daniel J. Weeks for meritorious service from 15 June 2022 to 6 July 2023. Lieutenant Colonel Daniel J. Weeks distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 765th Air Base Squadron, 65th Air Base Group, 86th Airlift Wing, Lajes Field, Azores, Portugal. During this period, Colonel Weeks led 294 personnel across 3 functional areas to provide design, acquisition, construction, and maintenance for $1.9 billion infrastructure system and delivered world-class community support for 690 personnel. His team executed $17.7 million in procurements, an 11-year record in support of 7 combatant commands. Additionally, Colonel Weeks guided a $30.6 million construction program to reposture base infrastructure for the largest fuel depot and largest airfield in the United States Air Forces in Europe. Furthermore, he led the bed down of 125 personnel and 5 anti-submarine warfare aircraft as they tracked targets and halted enemy freedom of maneuver in the North Atlantic. Finally, Colonel Weeks' strategic vision led to an increase in contracting warrants and creation of a multi-phase contingency quarter renovation to meet European Command's theater posture. He skillfully garnered host nation, Department of State, and Department of Defense senior leadership support to right-sizing the installation while he ensured future mission success in the Mid-Atlantic's premier power projection platform. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Colonel Weeks reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Signed, Brian L. Hardiman, Colonel, United States Air Force. Thank you, Colonel Hardiman. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. It is my pleasure to introduce the Commander, 765th Air Base Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Daniel Weeks.
That's my wingmate too.
Thank you, man. All right, everyone. Thank you. Hi, Lucas. All right, so standard academic lecture is 50 minutes, so that's what I have prepared for today. Thank you, Colonel Hardiman. Thank you, Colonel Paciencia. And Chief, thank you for coming out. I really appreciate you coming out to support Mike and I today. Captain Buckskemper, the Torque staff, and all the folks that have contributed, thank you very much for bringing the honor and dignity to a moment that this truly deserves. Mike, Jess, and George, welcome to the island, and welcome to the Furcado family. So, Ariel, Luke, Declan, welcome to the island. It's wonderful to have you here. Amina, Familia de Furcados. It was an honor and completely humbling to serve with you. Thank you so much for everything you do every single day. You are truly the ones that get the job done day to day. So this speech isn't really going to be about the amazing things that the Furcados do each and every day. We hear it in the decoration. We hear it from Colonel Hardiman. So I'm just going to use it as personal time to thank all the people that have made my life better. That's why it's going to take me 50 minutes to get through all of this. Squadron of 294 folks, and I don't have the time to thank each and every one of you, but it truly is each and every one of you that make things happen. So I'm going to highlight just a few folks in no particular order either. So first off, I want to thank Sean and Kate, Caddy, Josh, Katie, and Tom for being the sounding board, for all the gin and tonics, the beers, for sharing your knowledge and experiences, and mostly for your friendship. I wouldn't have had much fun or stayed sane without all of you, so thank you for what you've done. Whether it's the beers after work in one of our offices, grilling out, playing board games, intense discussions about work, and then seamlessly chatting about each other and how we were doing, helped keep me balanced, helped me find that right level to be at. I loved our adventures to other islands and even around this one. I made a lot of memories and a lot of friends that will last a lifetime with all of you, and I'm so thankful for all of you. All right, to Jaywalk, Tracy, Tommy, Ryan, Katya, and Suzanne in the front office, thank you so much for being my closest and most trusted advisors. All the tough problems and challenges that we faced, I knew that you understood when I needed open brainstorming time and when we could lock it down, make a decision, and we were all marching in the same direction as we left the office. Matthew, Jackie, Ian, Kevin, Josh, Susanna, Sandrine, Sada, you actually execute this mission each and every day, the flight commanders. You're the ones that take my vision and you go out to the field and you make it happen. So I'm internally indebted to you for your leadership and for you taking care of our people. To a very special section, we got to know each other pretty well over this last year. Dan, Carla, Katia, Miguel, Sedalia, Carolina, and Bianca, you enable one of the most important parts of our base, and that's our people. It's a thankless job, and I recognize that now, but it is vitally important that we take care of those folks. Although we have often had to manage with our heads, you have taught me that there's always heart behind it. To our Portuguese partners, especially the Portuguese Air Force and the residents of Terceira, thank you so much for making this a special place. Although I was a foreigner, you were patient with my attempts at learning your language and teaching me so much about your culture. As you can see from my blues, I really enjoyed the food here. And I really enjoyed learning as much as I did. So thank you so much for all that. It's a beautiful and special place, and the family and I will definitely be back to share it again. All right. So a few things I absolutely want to brag about because I'm so proud of the Furcados is we set records in contract execution, we continued consolidation, modernization of infrastructure, providing care and feeding for hundreds of soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and I bet there was even a few Guardians that came through. But no matter who came to Lajes Field, the 765 was there to take care of them in any facet that they needed. We take care of people, and we have done that time and time again this year. This year, we've increased the overall manning of the base, maximized and filled our funded positions so that we could cover as much of the mission as possible. So we truly do have a base-wide impact. More importantly to me, though, is that we came together a little closer as a Furcados family. 3 years ago, we were all mushed together, and it's sometimes hard to have that change and have those growing. But just last month in May, it was very evident to me that we are coming together as a family. It was great when we had our the summer squadron picnic, and I got to see somebody from every section. And I kind of was keeping score. I told you I never kept attendance, but I actually did. I actually was keeping track, and there was somebody from every single section in the squadron. And it was great to see us mingling, sharing stories, having a few drinks, Katya's famous sangria. But it was great to see us mingling. There's still more work to do. We're a family, and so there's always going to be a few squabbles. But no matter what, at the end of the day, a family takes care of each other. So continue to do that and continue to take care of each other. And remember me, we are a family, so no matter the distance or our past issues, I'm still part of the Forcado family. So reach out to me anytime you need, and I will be there. All right. Mike, Jess, and George, I hope you enjoy the people, the location, and the job as much as I did. It truly was a blessing. Experience goes really fast, so take deliberate moments to appreciate it. You really do. Get out, see the other islands, the rest of Portugal. There's an amazing amount of history, an amazing amount of culture, and some great food and wine. So get out and do it. Mike, the Forcado family is yours now. Take care of them, and they will take care of you. The most important advice I have is always be yourself, because this is what you are who this squadron needs. Finally, this job should be fun, so make it that way. Last and most importantly, I want to thank my own family, Ariel, Luke, Declan. All right. Luke and Declan, thank you for sharing me with my family here. I know it was great staying with Grammy this past year, and we're very, very blessed for the love and support that she and the rest of the family gave us. However, I'm very excited to be home with you. I have just a little something for you. Right. All right. Ariel, you are my best friend and I love you. You have been so strong and so amazing this year. I admire and respect you for taking such great care of our young boys and helping me through a challenging year. Your love props me up and inspires me. All right. Sorry, team. This is really, really hard. But so while I do look forward to the next chapter, and I honestly can say this has been a wonderful year, and it will live in my heart forever. So with that, obrigado, adeus.
Thank you, Colonel Weeks. Please stand for the change of command.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. 65th Air Base Group, 86th Airlift Wing, United States Air Forces in Europe, Ramstein, Germany, under the provision of Air Force Instruction 51-509 and in accordance with Special Order Number G-23-02, dated 14 April 2023, Lieutenant Colonel Sean Michael T. Kelly is hereby appointed Commander of the 765th Air Base Squadron, effective 6 July 2023. Signed, Brian L. Hardiman, Colonel, United States Air Force.
Sir, relinquish command.
Sir, I assume command.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. At this time, I am pleased to introduce the new commander of the 765th Air Base Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Sean Michael T. Kelly.
Colonel Hardiman, Colonel Placencia, Chief Pease, my fellow commanders, deputies, and members of the 65th Air Base group family, thanks for coming. If you've been a part of one of these before, you know how much work goes in behind the scenes to make this happen. So to Captain Bucks Kemper and the whole team you see in blues in the back, from setup to the anthem, from the invocation to the food to the narration, thank you all. I appreciate it. Also, to the many, many folks that have reached out to my family and I to make this transition easy, Miss Tracy, Danny, just to name a couple, thank you. I've never felt more welcomed anywhere in my career. I believe military service is a team sport, and I couldn't continue to serve without the love, dedication, and sacrifice from my team, my family, my wife Jessica, and our 10-month-old son George. So thank you. I'm so excited to experience this tremendous opportunity, this tremendous place together as a family. Lieutenant Colonel Weeks, Danny, I just want to take a quick second to personally thank you for everything that you've done for Lajes over this past year. Under your exceptional leadership, the 765th has continued to excel, and I am honored to have the opportunity to follow in your footsteps. Amidst everything that you were accomplishing in the squadron, you took time to field emails, answer phone calls, and Teams message to ensure that we were prepared as we could be for this coming year. So thank you. As some of you may not know, we're swapping units to some degree. I came here from AFIT at Wright Pat. You're going to AFIT. I just want to say AFIT is lucky. They're getting a true, genuine servant leader and a great person. So best of luck and enjoy time back with the family. I am humbled, honored, and extremely excited to be standing right here, right now. I came TDY here in 2021, and I fell in love. I fell in love with the base, the island, the culture, and most importantly, the people. So traveling back through the airport, back to Ohio, I knew that Lajes was the best kept secret in the Air Force, and I immediately made it number one on my assignments list. So needless to say, to be standing here less than 2 years after that first visit as an official member of Team Lajes, as an official member of the Forcado family, is incredibly exciting. So Colonel Hardiman, sir, thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for entrusting me with the airmen of the 765th, both military and civilian, American and Portuguese. I don't take that responsibility lightly. And then finally, to the men and women of the 765th Air Base Squadron, I promise to give you my very best each and every day, and I promise to empower you to accomplish our mission. I'm so excited to be your commander, and I'm so excited to meet you all and work with you all. Thank you. Obrigado.
Thank you, Colonel Kelly. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the Air Force song and remain in place for the departure of the official party.
Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. Atta boys, give her the gun, give her the gun. Hey! Down we dive, spouting our flames from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame, but we're down in flames. Hey! Nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.
This concludes today's ceremony. Please join us for the reception here in the ballroom as we welcome our new commander, Lieutenant Colonel Kelly. Thank you all for attending.